elbow you.
There you go.
Now, welcome to What's New. And we have a full house tonight. And we have a nervous person. Mr. Dunsey is very nervous about being on television.
He hates being on television.
But we'll make him at ease. Iris, you want to introduce our guest?
Okay, so who wants to go first? Anybody in a hurry? No? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yep, whatever is fine.
I don't like that kind of answer.
Okay, Jack,
I'll
you
do
and
it.
you guys be first.
Okay, we're on our way. Well, first of all, thanks for having us.
Oh, you're
Thanks
quite
for
We love to
welcome.
be here.
We know you do.
You shouldn't lie like that.
Okay, well, first of all, we want everybody to mark their calendars for our 8th Annual Rural Heritage Day, October 22nd, 9 to 5. And we're going to kick the day off with some opening ceremonies, live entertainment, and a parade at 10:30. And while we're getting ready for that, the Audi family and their crew is going to be setting up the apple press and getting the fire going to cook apple butter. Kevin's going to be working on his leather work, and we got fur trappers and blacksmiths and rope makers and corn shellers and a number of other things. One feature everybody always likes is the butchering. Mike Ponder and his group from down around Altenburg, they come up and help us every year, and they'll be stuffing sausage and cooking some ribs there on site, so that's always good. People really get a kick out of that. Civil War boys, they're going to set up a camp and put some activities together for the children. And Gary Bodenfield, he's been out making some old-time slingshots.
Oh, cool.
And collecting some acorns, and he's setting up a shooting range for the children, so that'll keep them busy for a while.
I used to like to do that.
Me too. We always had them down there, down on the corner lot, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's it. I've got to check my teleprompter here. Okay, so we got some new events this year. One of them is a Civil War reenactor, and he is an undertaker. And he's an undertaker in real life, but he also has a hearse and all of this antique undertaking equipment.
Wow.
So he's not bringing the hearse this year. Hopefully we'll get him to next year. But he's going to come down and do a demonstration. He's going to set up with the Civil War people. And that'll be different.
Oh,
He's going to show how they...
Yeah, I don't know.
What they do when you are no longer here.
yeah.
I asked Gary Shield, I said, Gary, now you guys are working with the kids and teaching them how to drill and work with the wooden guns and things they made. And I said, how's this going to fit in with that? He said, I know him real well, and he's worked with children before. And he said, we'll blend it all together. So
Well, what?
we'll blend it together. So that'll be interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then we have 4 fellows from the area that belong to a national group called the CMSA. And the CMSA is Cowboy Mounted Shooting Association. And they have a local group. Their local group's called Missouri Big Irons. And this is getting to be a big thing. There's a lot. They do a lot of competitions, quick draw competitions, as well as mounted shooting from the horses. They set up balloons and they go in and out of them and do different things. They go down the line. I think they shoot about 15 balloons.
Oh, my gosh.
So that should be a pretty exciting deal there. And we were looking for a place for them to set up because we think we're going to have a little problem down there with the beans not being ready. And I thought I had a great place picked out, grass really smooth and all. I said, we're not getting on there. I said, well, what's the deal? He said, because it gets too slick for our horses. And he says, these are $20,000 horses.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
Wow, yeah.
We can go with that.
So what do you need, a grassy area?
So no, we will have an area in the bean field cleaned out.
Oh,
And we
okay.
will work down there and do the demonstrations down there. Another group that's coming, a lady and her husband have sheep herding dogs. And they can take these sheep and walk them right through the crowd. Never touch anybody.
Oh my
They
God.
just
Wow.
have the best control. We ran into them up at Kirkwood at their festival and got them to come down and show us. So that'll be something else new. And for the ladies, at 2 o'clock at the Welcome Center, we have a lady, Sandra has a lady coming in, and she's going to do a deal called Let's Talk Quilts. And her name is Ann Hazelwood, and she is a Midwest quilt appraiser expert, and she's featured on Roadshow, on the Antiques Roadshow.
Oh my gosh.
So everyone is invited to bring their favorite old quilts, antique quilt, vintage quilt, down and talk about it, get it identified, and get some info on how to take care of it.
Oh my goodness.
So
That's great.
that'll be nice. Lisa Palmer's going to be doing paper filigree at the Welcome Center. Joy French is doing chair caning at the Candy Shop. And Debbie Toddhunter, she's been with us almost every year, going to be set up at the First Settlement Antiques with a loom and show people how to make rugs. And we have a fellow named Bob Bush who's coming in with a antique phonograph setup and
Oh my.
show that to people. That's just a little outlook of some of the things we got going on. We get terrific support for this event from all the local people as well as all the local businesses, big businesses, small businesses. Everybody's jumping in. Every year we get more people jumping in to help us out, and we really appreciate that. We couldn't do it without the Lost Acre Tractor Club, and they're a big part of it, showing their antiques and plowing in the field and doing their demonstrations. So Jan, what about something to eat?
Okay. We have the Cafe Genevieve with Jamie Inman Smith. She is going to provide the food this year. She's going to be our caterer, and we're having ham and beans and cornbread, and stew and vegetables and cornbread. And then we also are going to have brats and hot dogs, and the Boy Scouts are going to provide the desserts this year, so they'll have them for sale. And it's a non-alcoholic event, so we'll be providing lots of, refreshments as well. So, we're hoping everyone will come and enjoy the old-time Biddles and enjoy the day. It's a one day full of activity that it could probably last 3 days for all the events and all the things that are going on at the same time.
What time do they start serving ham and beans?
The ham and beans start at 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, and they are very, very good. And as far as our stage area this year, at 8 a.m., between 8 and 8:15, the Boy Scouts will open the ceremony with the national anthem, and they'll present the American flag. And then at between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, we have our surveyor, Duck Bader, is going to come. He's got old-time equipment to show and demonstrate of how they used to do surveying before things got a little bit more modern. We have a group called the Back Porch Dulcimers, and they're going to be playing their dulcimers, and they come from Sikeston, Missouri. They've been several times now, and it's very, very nice to listen to their music. We also have the St. John Stompers will put on their show of clogging, and I don't know how they can do it as long as they do it, but they do it for
They sure do.
yeah,
They're
a
good.
good while.
Yeah.
And then we also have the Minute Hee Haw Kids back again this year, and it's always really cute to see them and listen to their stories, and they sing and they put on those skits, so it's really nice. And then this is the 6th year that we're having the Spearing Middle School Fiddlers, Colonial Fiddlers. They come down from it's a school in South St. Louis on Lindbergh, and I think it's between 25 and 30 kids, and,
Oh
and
my
they play
goodness.
the fiddle, and it's very, very nice. And then we're going to have a band called Tools of the Trade, and they are going to play country and traditional American music, and that starts at 2 o'clock, and that's from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And in between then is our demonstration of, as Jack said, the Missouri Big Irons, but they're going to put a demonstration on in front of the stage, and it's, Jack, can you tell me a little bit more? How is that? It's blanks?
They're shooting blanks. And as he explained to me the other day, they'll be about 20, 25 feet from each other, facing each other. But what they'll do is they'll have a balloon on a stake next to them, on each side of the other fellow and this fellow. And so when they draw and shoot, it looks like they're shooting at each other, but they're really going to pop that balloon.
Okay.
So that should,
So they're going to see who can draw the best. Just put on a little show there.
yeah, be a
Now
nice.
blanks, are they actually, do they fire, but they don't
Oh yeah,
have?
they fire, they just don't have the lead in them. They
The
have
lead,
a paper
oh.
wad in there. And
Oh,
that
okay.
wad will go 10, 12, 15 feet.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it will break the balloon at that distance.
I never knew what blanks were. Now I know.
I don't like to be around guns. I don't like the sound.
So we also will have shuttles going through town all day long. We are asking a $3, contribution to be able to allow us to do this. This is our 8th year, and it is, we are the Lions Club, and we are the ones that sponsor it. And so we would appreciate if we could have a little donation along the way. But the shuttle will take us downtown, and as Jack said, downtown there will be quilting, lace making, crocheting, chair caning, rug weaving, basket making, wool spinning, and then there's church and bake sale, I think, at the Presbyterian Church.
Yes.
So,
Thank you.
activities throughout the whole day, activities for anyone that enjoys anything.
It'll keep you entertained.
Right. At 10:30, we have the tractor parade, and that'll go through town. It's antique tractors and also antique cars, so anyone that's interested, that's out there, that's listening, would like to participate, just let us know. It will start down on St. Mary's Road and come up through Main, and then turn at Merchant, and come through Merchant, and then 3rd, and back down on Market, and back down. But it's usually about 40 tractors or so.
At least.
And all makes, models, and anyway, and then they'll be on display down along St. Mary's Road this year. I believe we weren't able, nature didn't provide us with our crops that we usually take care of this year, so we are not able to put on any kind of a demonstration out in the field this year. But other than that, the tractors will all be there and all that, so.
And there should be, there'll be some horses. The girl, if you saw her last year, or maybe in the paper or in her ads, she's a Roman horseback rider, and she rides the 2 horses standing on them. She rode them all over down there. She rode them in the parade. She rode them all over town, so she's coming back.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And we hope to have a few others. That donation.
Pardon me?
That donation, I want to say something about. It looks like we're going to be able to cover all of our expenses, and if we do, then we are intending to, that $3 street donation that people give us, we're hoping to pass that on to the elderly in our community, the needy elderly in our community. And we'll do that through the various groups that know who those people are. And because they get help at Thanksgiving, they get help at Christmas, but it's during the year when they can't buy those personal needs that they spend. So that's where we hope to provide some help this year.
That's good.
And then our brother Greg is the historian this evening, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what the St. Genevieve Lions Club does throughout the year, and how the Lions Club came to be.
Well, the Lions Club started in 1917 by a Chicago businessman, Melvin Jones, and he belonged to a men's group, and they were all basically business people, and he wanted to do something good for the community. They were all well successful business people, and they just wanted to help the community. So with that, he started going across the country to other businessmen's groups, and by the fall of that 2017, they had the first national convention down in Dallas, Texas. He continued to grow the club, And by 1925, at a national convention in Ohio, Helen Keller came, and she asked the Lions to become knights for the blind, crusaders for the from darkness. And that's when the Lions nationally decided that's what they would promote. That's the first thing that the Lions Club got into, was blindness. So in 1930, there was a Lion member, and he noticed a blind man trying to cross the street, and he was having a difficult time. So he was the first guy to come up with the white cane with the red tip. I just wanted to point out that was a Lion Club member that came up with that cane for blind people that they still use today. The first international convention outside of the United States was in 1931, so it shows how fast the Lions Club grew. We moved down to 1939. I point this out. That's when the Leader Dog program started, where people recognizing what dogs, how dogs would be guide dogs. Moving on quickly, 1939. I like this fact here. There was a need for organized baseball, and along with the YMCA and some other local community groups, the Lions Club was very instrumental in setting up the first Little League Baseball. So that was pretty remarkable, I thought, that the Lions Club would do that for the community. And what's neat about the Lions Club is that whatever the community needs, the Lions are there to serve. That's our motto, to serve. And any Lions Club across the country, whatever their community needs, that's what they get into. Most, like I said, most of them are into helping this site, but they can do anything. I mean, we're very flexible. We're here to serve. Moving on, 1944, the first eye bank was created by the Lions. 1945, the Lions helped draft the United Nations Charter, which was a pretty big deal there. Skipping on down from 46 to 54, they continue to grow across the world. 1954, the model "We Serve" was created. 1956, the Detroit Lions Club gave 6-year-old Stevie Wonder a Christmas gift, a drum set. Okay, then 1968, the Lions Club International Foundation was established, and they do tremendous humanitarian works. My sister Jana talked about them a little bit later. 1977, Lion Jimmy Carter, peanut farmer from Georgia, becomes president of the United States. Skip it on down to 1990, Sight First is launched, eventually raising more than $450 million to help eradicate major causes of blindness. 1993, St. Genevieve receives a $10,000 grant from Lions Club International Foundation to help basically buy water pumps for the fight to flood relief here in St. Genevieve. 1995, Lions Club International Foundation partners with the Carter Center and to combat river blindness in Africa and Latin America. I'll talk a little bit more about that here in the years to come. 2003, Sight First, the Carter Center records their 50 millionth river blindness treatment. The Financial Times in 2007 ranks Lions Club International Foundation as the best non-governmental organization worldwide to partner with. 2010, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation contributes $5 million to One Shot, One Life campaign. The Lions raised more than $10 million to support measles efforts over the next 2 years. 2011, Lions helped administer 148 millionth dose of Mectizan to treat river blindness. Skipping down, 2013, in the country of Colombia, eliminates river blindness with the support of Lions in the Carter Center. And then go all the way down to 2017, and right now we have we're in over 207 countries with 46,000 clubs and about 135 million members. And this is our centennial year, 2017, coming up. And I would encourage anybody to join the Lions Club if they would get on the computer, look up Lions Club International. You could see what all good works that Lions Club does do, and they'd be more than happy, I'm sure, to sign up and become a centennial member with the local St. Genevieve Lions Club.
Well, and you missed the $10,000 that we gave to Crosstown when they had a tornado. So Lion Club International Foundation, it's the next level up from the locals clubs, and they do a lot of humanitarian needs all across the country, all across the world.
Right. And I will say, the Lions Club is a huge club, and within that club there's all these entities, and there's the Lions International Club, and that deals with international disasters and the tsunami in China when the earthquake happened. We were the first club, the first organization allowed into China to help. They asked for us first, the Lions Club. We have a leader dog program in Rochester, Michigan, and each dog that is trained is $50,000. And that dog stays with that person until the life of the dog, you know, or however it works. We have a Mid-South Center, a hospital in Memphis, and we send, you know, people in need down there for surgery, eye surgeries, and, you know, it's 100% taken care of by the Lions Club. We have a Lions World Services located in, I think, Blytheville, Arkansas, and it trains people with that are blind to do all kinds of jobs, you know, whatever they would like to do. And then the Sight First program, which is just housed a new building in Columbia, Missouri. Last year in April they opened, and I am affiliated with that. I am the representative for this area, and we go out and we screen children for lazy eye, and then we also do glaucoma testing. And I was fortunate enough to be with, her name is Becky Henderson, and we were in April, we went out and we were out at Hope Church here in St. Genevieve, and then we went down to Valley Catholic and we screened the kindergarten, pre-K and kindergarten children. And she just received an award for her 50,000th screening of children. That's how many she has done. So it's a very worthwhile program, and, you know, we're happy to be of service. So anyway, Jack, you got some more stuff?
Great.
I'm done, Jen.
Well, you guys did a perfect job, and it wasn't bad, was it, Jack?
Oh, I made it.
Well, I like to say, I think this took off, you know, the first year of Rural Heritage Days, between that one and the second, it just exploded. And I mean, you got almost too much in the day, but it's, I mean, it's perfect. There's something for everybody.
Yes.
One more thing that's going on that day that we haven't here, it's not a part of the Lions operation, but it's the Spirit Reunion in the old cemetery, 5:30, 5th and Market. And it's been growing too. They had a big crowd last year.
Last year, when we just even went early enough to get started setting up, and there were people lined up all the way up from the gate up to Jefferson Street, and you know, it was like, what are we going to do with all of these people? But we did. I mean, and our spirits are growing too. We've keep adding people. You know, somebody will go through and they'll say, can I do it? And so we've got, I know of 2 brand new ones that are coming this year, and that it's always exciting to add a few more spirits to it. So, but we haven't quite figured out how old we are. We didn't pay enough attention, you know, but it was about 2002, 2003, somewhere in there, when we began with 7 spirits, and I think we counted 23 people came to do it, and mainly they were people that were spouses of the spirits. And, but it has grown by leaps and bounds, and last year it really did just take off, and so we're doing it again. We try to start at dusk. We hope to be out of there before it's dark, we're never out of there until it is pitch dark. And so we like to encourage people if they like to bring a flashlight with them, because it's not a level surface in there. So we give lanterns to our guests coming in, and our spirits have lanterns. But if you have any, insecurity, bring a flashlight and feel free to use that, But we don't want anybody to, that's why we hope to get out of there before dark. But as the spirits grow, people stay longer because there's more to go and see and talk to. And they always like to say, we're not actors. They're just people that have, sometimes they're descendants of the people they are portraying, or they live in the house that person built. But sometimes they just take on that person, do their research, find out their life story, so that they can just tell it like you would tell, what did you do in your life? And so it's learning history right out of the horse's mouth. And it's not meant at all to scare. We're not doing this as part of Halloween. We're not trying to get people in there and tell them ghost stories or anything. These are just the friendly spirits that are the founding fathers and mothers of St. Genevieve. So we did have a little mini one earlier, or at the end of September, for the history conference, and we focused on 18th century personalities and spirits and everything. But the cemetery opened in 1787 and closed in 1882, so that's quite a range and quite a change in life between those 100 years. It's the Industrial Revolution has come and gone, the Civil War occurred, all of those sorts of things. So we've got lots of people representing all of those. We have an Indian storyteller, and there's a voyageur that comes and talks about going out and trapping and everything. And so everybody's different, and we're getting young families coming with their kids who are just really enjoying doing that. And for them, probably it is a little bit spooky to be in the cemetery when it's getting dark, but that's not our intention. That's not at all our intention. So, and it's $7 a person to get in, and all of the money that we raise goes into the restoration of the cemetery. That's an ongoing project that I can't see it ever ending. By the time we get everything done, what we did at first will probably need to be touched up and done. But it's a continuing thing, and so we're happy to use that, get that extra and use it in the cemetery.
So Saturday morning, you go down to Heritage Days, and Saturday evening, you go down to the graveyard.
Right. There you go. There you go. So you fill your day out, from dawn to dusk almost,
And you don't have to cook.
No.
You can't beat that.
Yeah.
And you can pick up a brochure, and it's got everything in it.
It does.
These are at the
It
Welcome
does.
Center, and you'll have them at
And
the
they should be
event.
at most of the stores and restaurants around town.
And we are so happy that the Lions Club lets us kind of be the tag at the end of their Rural Heritage Days. It's a good activity that feeds into us, and hopefully, because I know we've had people from other cemeteries that come to see what we're doing and to see if they can adapt it. So hopefully those people have also come early and participated in Rural Heritage Days. There's a lot to see that day.
There
A lot
is.
to see, a lot of activities.
I think the apple butter was totally fascinating.
Yes, last year I got there and it was gone.
Oh,
It was gone. So,
yeah, I
so,
really enjoyed that
yeah.
one. Yeah.
yeah,
It's a full day.
it is a full day.
Okay.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I guess Lance ran away. For a
Yeah,
minute.
he probably seen
Yeah.
all the people we had. He thought, I ain't staying.
Yeah, I think he had a
Yeah.
telephone call. Okay, Mr. Robbie, let's hear about your
Well,
little activity.
if you just can't wait for something to do and you don't want to wait till the 22nd, on the 15th, this coming Saturday, the Bolduc House Museum is having its annual Boussillage French Colonial Zombie and Werewolf Hunt Festival. This year, all of our activities are in the afternoon. If you come dressed as a werewolf or a zombie, you get in for half price. In addition to doing our regular hourly tours of the site, at 12:30 we have a children's werewolf hunt game. It's very fun. That was a brand new thing we introduced last year. It's kind of like a mix of capture the flag and freeze tag. We'll be playing that for an hour with the kids. We'll have some militia reenactors on site on patrol looking around for loose werewolves to capture and round up. At 2:45 we'll be convening to the backyard of the Bolduc House to teach the kids and anybody else about French colonial werewolf folklore, what the French colonials believed here, that lived here, what made somebody a werewolf, what put them at risk for becoming one, and what would be able to turn them around and save their soul from damnation. In addition, we'll be planting some bulbs of garlic. In addition to keeping vampires away, garlic was believed to keep French werewolves away and at bay, so we'll be planting some bulbs of garlic behind the Bolduc House, and we will close down at 5:30, or at 5 o'clock, but reopen at 6:30. And in the Linden House, which is the gift shop across from the Bolduc House Museum, in the backyard, we have a projector and a screen. We'll be showing the original 1941 Wolfman movie with Lon Chaney. We will have concessions, popcorn, and hot cocoa available, but you are asked to bring your own lawn chair. If you're interested in maybe seeing the movie and not doing any of the other things, as they're geared a little bit more towards kids, cost to get in for just the movie is $1. If you buy a ticket to do a tour, that automatically gets you access to all of the activities for the entire day. I brought a little copy of the flyer here with me today in case I need you to cheat on any of the details, but I also brought a official loup-garou. Loup-garou is the French word for werewolf. This is a silver bullet. It's not actually silver, it's pewter. This is a pewter bullet, silver bullet, etched with a cross.
That's a Lone Ranger.
That's right. Not in this area. It's etched with a cross and it's dipped in holy water. And this is what you're supposed to use on a werewolf if you see them, to wound them and save their soul. So we sell these in our gift shop. They're $8 a piece.
I was going to say, that would be good to have for Halloween.
This is a great thing to have for Halloween. Come pick some up this Saturday, and you can have it with you when you're at Heritage Days, walking around, keeping an eye open on that big field, making sure we don't have any werewolves coming up from the river. Or in the cemetery.
Or in the cemetery.
Oh,
So the French actually believed in werewolves?
Oh, yeah.
They did, and I won't spoil all the details because that's one of the things to learn about at the festival, but we'll go over what they believed would put you at risk for becoming a werewolf, how to turn the curse around, how to spot a werewolf, how to wound them and save them from damnation.
wow.
Never knew that before.
Yeah, me neither.
It's a fun way of interacting with the obvious fall events and Halloween, but without compromising your historical integrity, and you can still tie it into our site here at the New France campus.
So that's been going on for a few years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It has.
3 or
I'm
4?
not sure the exact year because it was right before I started. I think 2012 might have been the first year. So I think this might be the 4th or 5th year we're doing it. It went really well last year. Had a lot of activities planned and trying to keep up with the activities and play it smart and see if we can't pack them in an afternoon and get everybody coming through.
When people say there's nothing to do in a small
I
town,
know it, I know it.
I don't
So much.
understand
Look at what
it.
we've got this month alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And that's the second
Yeah.
half of the month.
yeah, yeah.
Right at the start, we had the history conference.
Exactly.
Right.
That was wonderful. With
Yeah.
the foundation was paired with the Center for French Colonial Studies, and put that conference on. We do one every year, the foundation does, but this year we were able to combine with theirs, and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So much the same do.
And-
We had our archaeological
I was going to
day,
say,
and-
I snuck down there in between things and
Yeah.
to take a look at that, and
That was very
that was
interesting.
very interesting. Yeah, yeah.
So have you got any dates or anything on that yet?
Oh, no.
No?
Talking with the crew behind the scenes, and probably won't see an assessment report before April. Because they just found so much stuff that it's going to take a while to go through and clean up. But we're already very, very busy behind the scenes trying to figure out how we can already interpret that house and the findings on our tours. And I think we can probably have it open up in January if we want to. So.
The size of the foundation that they had found
Mhm.
was immense. I mean, just immense. The stones were like this
Huge.
big.
Yeah, they're
huge.
massive. They're
They
like
were.
garden pavers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're big
Mhm.
chunks of stone. And the building itself was impressive too, 12 by
Yeah.
19, probably a kitchen of some kind.
Mhm. Very interesting.
And on the very last day, as he was digging, he suspected and didn't want to say it out loud. And as he's giving his lecture, he's the first lecture of the history conference. His crew's hard at work on a post-in-ground, remains of a post-in-ground wall they found right on the property, and were able to deduce that post-in-ground wall was part of a pre-existing structure that no longer exists. So the house.
Pre-existing church?
What's that?
What'd you say, the pre-existing?
Pre-existing structure that's no
Oh,
longer there.
structure.
So the Francois Valley 2 house on Gabourey Street, as it is now, is almost certainly an addition to a building that's no longer there.
Okay.
That's a pretty impressive find.
That's the one that went
On a
out
10-day dig.
sideways on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was lower too, wasn't it?
Very
Lower
low,
than the-
yeah. They started digging at the fireplace area, because that's where they joke about it, but it's true. The French, well, everybody burned their trash. So when you dig at where the fireplace was, that's where you're going to find all of your broken pottery and pieces of clothing and shoes and guns and things like that. So they started digging there, and then they found the remains of the wall and kept going and going and going, and were there literally to the last minute. They cut off at about noon, and they weren't even planning on originally digging on that day, Saturday.
Oh, my. Yeah. It was something to see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It's going to be exciting.
very exciting, yeah.
Yeah.
Decades of programming and digs already on the horizon.
So they're not gonna cover those holes up though, are they?
They're already covered.
Yeah.
Oh, they
we
are
have to
covered?
preserve them, because the idea when you dig a hole like that is you keep digging until you hit prehistoric ground.
Oh, and then.
And they
you
haven't
fill
even
them in.
gotten to prehistoric ground yet. So you fill it back in, or else the hole gets compromised and
Oh, okay.
collapses in on itself. So we were, especially in the fall with
Yeah.
weather and rain and stuff, we were really pressed to try to get it filled within a week, if not
Yeah.
sooner.
Okay. And
Very
then
happy to
if they
have
come
that.
back, they'll remove that and dig deeper.
And then keep going, yep.
Oh,
What size hole did they end up with?
they're big ones.
Ooh,
Oh.
big ones. I'd say
They
most
look like
of the
a
holes were
grave.
about 3 by 2 or so, and then probably 1.5 to 2 feet, 3 feet deep.
That one looked like a grave almost. The
Yeah,
big one.
where the wall was on the side of the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah, it was interesting. I
But
got,
like, to echo Mickey, a lot of stuff going on in this town.
Yeah.
I got tickled at a little girl that was there. She wanted to go look in that hole, and her mom said, "You can't go back there." And the ribbon was down, and I said, "Yeah, you can walk back there. They don't care." And she was just so fascinated with that hole. And then when she saw that rock in there, and they told her it was a house that used to be there, she was like, real big on it. She was so cute. You know, and she was probably only like 7 years old or something like that.
Yeah.
Little bitty kid. But it's amazing how their minds, when they're that young,
They love that kind
they're
of
so
stuff.
curious.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Kiel Schwend house that is just 2 doors down was a warehouse for Francois Valley, I believe, before it became a home and
Oh,
a
really?
structure. So,
Oh, my
yeah.
God.
And then you think you know everything, and then you dig those holes.
Oh, yeah,
and-
you
and-
constantly,
Yeah.
and like, well, don't want to steal anyone's thunder, but like Robert Mazur was saying, is that archaeology is something that's barely been touched on in this town. And this town isn't just a preserve for the architecture, but for the entire way of life. So there's a lot more to go.
There's a lot of history here that's underground yet.
There's vast amounts of history underground.
That was entertaining, that's all right.
And I thought, don't even take it with you, and, we'll just.
I guess Lance must have left, huh?
I think he did.
You know, I echoed Mickey, but I also want to echo what Greg was saying too, is that the Lions Club really is a great organization for the town. It's not just the vision issues that they help tackle in the community, but it's like Greg was saying, that every time the community needs something or needs help for an event or an organization, a festival of some kind, Lions Club's always ready and willing to help out with that. And I, for one, am always appreciative of that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Well, and we have been in existence, I will throw that in there, since 1931. So we've been 85 years active in St. Genevieve.
That's
Wow.
wonderful, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
And you can always
it's-
get a good meal at the Lions Club.
Yes, you can.
It's good to have a club that gives back,
Right.
because a lot of them don't.
Yeah,
Well, we try to stay active. We have a breakfast in the spring, and then we participate in the French Heritage Day in June.
Yeah.
And then we do the Jour de Fête weekend, and then we fall into our Rural Heritage Day. And then at
And
Christmas, we'll
Christmas
do
walk.
our Christmas in the Park. And we give a hot dog, a free bag lunch to kids 12 and under. And, we take free pictures with Santa Claus. Jack provides his.
Soy.
yeah,
That was blue soy last year. But I think we pre-made, what, 250 or something lunches for the kids while the parade's going on, so we can be a little bit ahead. Because when they pour in there, look out.
it's,
Yeah.
They're all
Last
there
year-
at one
Yeah,
time.
everybody
Yeah.
shows up, you know, the
Yeah.
parade's over, here we go.
but there was long lines last year, long lines, and they gave gloves and hats to the kids rather than just candy.
Yeah.
And I think that was
That's,
really nice.
that's what they need. They
Yeah.
don't need the candy.
No,
We tried to hand them out, not
Yeah.
throw them out, you know.
yeah,
Get them in their hand. It's always weather dependent, everything we do.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's
the
the truth
truth.
about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
We've been-
there's not many things that get rained out. Jour de Fête this year was dampish, but, most of the time, Rural Heritage Days, I can't think of one that hasn't been really lovely
We've
weather.
been very lucky.
Yeah, we've
Yeah,
been real lucky in our events.
yeah,
But Jour de Fête really got rained on
It did.
Sunday.
It did,
That was
yeah.
really a lot of rain.
yeah. My feathers didn't do well in the rain.
Kind of soggy, huh?
Yeah,
I was amazed at how many people came with umbrellas,
It was.
walking the streets, and
Yeah.
they were ready for the weather.
They
They came,
were.
they wanted to see everything, and
Yeah.
there was a lot of
Yeah.
people in town Sunday.
Even though it was raining, it was warm. It was
Right.
warm, the wind
Yeah.
wasn't blowing,
yeah,
and we had the park full of tents, and people were sitting under those tents like it wasn't raining at all, and just enjoying the music and
Yep.
having a cool one or two.
yeah.
Yes, every year, you don't know what to expect, but it's always, I think it's only maybe once that it actually rained the whole weekend. Sometimes it'll rain on a Saturday morning or something,
Yeah.
but I can't ever recall it raining both days like
Yeah.
that.
That one year it rained on Friday evening and flooded out down there, but
Yes, it did.
Oh, I
was
do remember.
bad.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Community grants,
that's right,
bring that up.
yeah. So,
One thing I'd like to mention is that Lions Club does get a lot of support from the community with different grants. Sister Ryan and Jan could probably help me out with some of the grants that we received. And
Well, through the years, we had help with when we built our building, our new park facility. We had the community grant. Jack actually was working with them over that. And I mean, we've always, not only do we feel like we give, but our community supports us as well, and helps us when we need help. We have received tents and
band
And
grants.
the city is always very cooperative. I remember when it wasn't that way, but man, it's really very helpful now. Anything we need, they're there to help us out.
yes, and the Community Band has been very generous to us to help us
Yeah.
provide our music throughout, this weekend, this coming weekend, we've received a grant from them, so they're always generous to help us, provide music and keep things happy and lively, so,
Yeah.
anyway.
Today, we had Hughes Clean Air, and we had only 6 kids' applications when we started, and they just kept coming and coming and coming. So we had, I don't remember how many was at the end, but we had quite a few. Mrs. Bowman told her class, and a lot of the older kids came. They just came, what is plein air? And so they took papers and they went out and did it.
Oh, great.
So that was really nice. There were so many show up. So we've got 8 for Saturday, so we hope more come. Saturday just dropping in.
Excellent. Yeah.
So that was really good. Yeah. Beautiful day too. It
Yes.
was raining this morning. Was like, oh, okay, should we do this? I said, let's just wait until right before, and we'll just go down there and set up on the porch. And if it starts raining, we'll say, you can come back next Wednesday or come Saturday.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. Yeah. So. Okay. Anybody else got anything else to say?
Well, it's Marianne's turn.
I think Lance has been really busy with his goings on. He's doing
Yeah.
pumpkin, I guess everybody
Carving.
kind of saw the pumpkin carving
Yeah.
he does. They're really cool, really neat. He does several. At Community Center, doesn't he have a class out there?
Yeah.
I wish he was here to tell us, but
Yeah.
anyway, he has a class out there. I think it's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
I think he kind of got a phone call before I got up and
Yeah.
left.
So, I guess if nobody has anything else to say,
So who do we have for next
next
in
time.
2 weeks?
Who did you say? wanted to
Jeff
come?
McCarty wants to come in
Oh.
with Christmas
Oh, for
thing.
With his Christmas,
with the
with the kids.
cops, shopping with the cops.
Shop with the cop, yeah. Okay, and then we have the Women's Club, you said?
Yes.
Okay, and what are they going to talk about? They're just going to talk about their organization?
Yeah, they're probably going to talk about their Christmas stuff,
Oh.
Christmas stuff they have.
Okay, and then St. John is going to have a jelly bean festival. And Christy Clayhorn will be our guest to tell about it.
Great.
So anybody else that wants to come on and
That's interesting.
provide some
A jelly
information?
bean?
Festival. Something new, I think. Did they do it last year? And
I
think
don't
she
know.
said it's really fun, so. Anyway, we'll find all about it next week, or 2 weeks,
2 weeks.
on the 26th.
After everybody has been to the Garou at
Yes.
the Bolduc
Bolduc
House
House.
and then Rural Heritage
And the Spirit
end up in the
View.
cemetery,
The
Spirits.
Right, and also, that'll be, we'll have Fourth Friday on the 28th also.
Yeah.
So that'll be,
That'll-
and then we'll probably have the kids' art on display, either the 28th or the next weekend. We haven't really
So
decided yet.
anybody that says they don't have time they haven't got anything to do, they either are not looking in the newspaper or they're got a deaf ear.
Yeah, yes.
Because there's always something to do.
That's for sure. And I think somebody really wants you.
Somebody's really wanting Mickey.
We have a guest that we wanted, but he's involved with church activities, I think at the Baptist Church. Houston Meyer does Hope Outdoors, and he was at one of the community meetings, and their program is so interesting, but it conflicts with the night. They take kids hunting, handicapped kids, They provide them with all kind of stuff. It's not Hope Church, that's just the name of the organization, it's national. And they take them turkey hunting and deer hunting.
Yeah,
and
it's called Hope Outdoors.
And they feed them, and that's really a good organization. I really wish he could work it out where he can come. We might have to pre-tape him and just have Don, he agreed to doing that at some point, so.
That's what we need to do because it's a very interesting show.
It is. The presentation he did at the community services meeting was great.
Wonderful, yes.
He's very knowledgeable and he's very, very enthused about the program, which is great. Yeah. And he has a bunch, there's little pictures of little bitty kids all the way up to the teenagers that they do
Has
this
it been
with.
around for a while? or-
How long did he say? I think it's been.
Yeah,
It's been a while,
3
but
or
I don't
4
know how many
years, yeah.
years. Yeah, it doesn't really say. They're based out of Searcy, Arkansas. Is where their home base is. Hope Outdoors, Searcy, Arkansas. And anybody that has a handicapped child can Google Hope Outdoors,
And they can get
and they
their
can
child
get in there, and their child, they'll really have a good time. According to the program he presented, it was really, really nice. So we'll try to get him on tape so everybody can see it. And there's a lot of adults. Well, I don't remember how many adults they had, 20?
Yeah, they had so many for
A whole-
each child.
Yeah, each child had an adult with them. So they were very well taken care of.
Yeah.
And their wheelchairs, they put them up in stands,
Oh,
and
how great.
it's great. It's a
Yeah.
great,
And the location is where do they hunt?
they have grounds.
They have some ground-
Volunteer,
Yeah.
people volunteer around
Somebody
here.
volunteered their land.
They have a lot of
A lot
acres.
of the acreage is out around Weingarten area.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
A lot of the landowners out there.
It's several hundred acres that
Yes.
they have.
Oh,
I mean, that
1,000
they
acres
can
probably.
use. Yeah, but I don't remember who he
Yeah.
said. We'll try to get him to take that, but I wanted to mention it because so with hunting season coming near, somebody out there listening might know somebody that could use that. So just do Hope Outdoors and contact them, and
It's a great
they'll
program.
help you. Yeah.
And thank you all for being here tonight.
Yes.
We thoroughly enjoyed it. And Jack, you were very good.
We did too.
We don't scare too many people.
We don't scare anybody.
When will you all be back? I mean, are you going to come back at some time for a different house or for any more digs?
I can't imagine we're gonna have anything before the summer. I'd really love to have a spring dig, but I just don't think that's gonna happen.
But you will be back.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The goal is to do 2 or 3 a year,
Oh, really?
which is a very expensive goal.
Yes.
I was gonna say that.
But we're in it for the long term, and the long term is gonna have a lot of expenses in it, so we're preparing.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of posts on the sill and posts in the ground houses
Oh, yes.
around that are covered up. I was shocked. Is it 50 to 80?
Well, they
or something
say,
like that?
what do you think, Nikki? 30-ish for sure?
For sure.
For sure, low 30s.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
up to 50 or 60, I've heard.
Yeah,
Really?
Bob Mueller had put a presentation about houses that were gone, and that's not even those are houses that were standing in 1900 and aren't here any longer.
Right.
But there are others that predate that people lived in them, they moved on, somebody took them down or enclosed the porch and that became the new house. So I would think that if you really dig, it'd be more than the 30, close to
for
that
sure,
50
yeah.
and 60, yeah.
And it's amazing when you go around town, how old the houses are at different areas in town.
Yeah.
You know what fascinates me about the whole thing is I was in Williamsburg and they don't have the old houses standing
No.
like we have here.
No,
They
they
built
built it.
those
They
houses
ground
on
up.
the old foundations
Right.
according to the pictures they had.
Right.
So you can
Right.
fly out to the East Coast and see what they built, or you
Yes.
can come to St. John and
And
see
see
it
the-
as
the
it is.
real
As it
thing.
is,
That's right.
yeah.
That's what fascinated
Yeah.
me. I was out there and saw all that and then I come back here to this town and I'm thinking, They don't have anything
No,
out there. We've
no.
got it.
We've
Oh,
got
yeah.
the original.
And even in
Yeah.
St. Louis, a lot of people like going to Faust Park to see all the old houses there. Well, they're not from there. They
They-
trucked them all over from all over.
They
St.
moved
Louis.
them in,
A lot
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the riverfront used to be loaded with them, and they
Yeah,
tore it
that's
down
why
for
when I give a
everything.
tour, I say they took them down to put an arch up, of all things, you know? Yeah.
This weird half circle.
Yeah,
But that always amuses me, and I always tell people when I go out there, well, you don't have anything, you need to come to St. Genevieve.
yeah. And see what,
And-
you know, you got that kind of core downtown of 1800 or so, but then there are houses that were out in the country, but now we've enclosed them
We've
with
enclosed
other
on them in
things, so.
the town limits.
Yeah, so sometimes, you know, I always can tell from the roof. That's a giveaway, on the roof line, but you look at it and you think, I bet there's a log cabin in there, you know, that
I'm
we
not
don't
saying
even
that.
know about.
You can, it's funny, you look at the roof, I look at the bottom, you see the rock
Oh,
foundation,
that
you
rock
can see that
foundation does it.
rectangle.
Yeah.
And even if there's extensions on it, you see that rectangle with the foundation, you know,
Yeah,
that's one
yeah,
of them.
those are giveaways.
There's a blue one on Seraphim Street right next to St. Mary's Road that was having some work done on it.
Yes.
And it looks like, to anybody else who's not from here, it looks like a house built in 1920.
Yeah, but it's
And
not.
they stripped off the siding and they were putting some fresh on, and you saw the vertical logs and the,
It's a two.
That's
it's
where
an
they
old
had
two-story
the,
vertical log.
during the flood, that's where they had their headquarters, didn't they? I mean, they served a lot of meals and stuff
Yeah,
there
yeah, and,
during the 93
yeah, that's an
flood.
important one that really needs to be researched and shown off. and-
Out in Weingarten, we owned a farm out there a few years back, several years back.
Yeah.
And there was a log cabin in a house on it, but I kind of figured it. But when the guy tore the house down, it was a log. And it even
Oh.
had the wood
Oh, wow.
pegs. And the barn did too,
Mm.
which my husband tore down and
Oh.
burned.
That's awful.
You didn't
That's
say
just
that on
awful.
TV, did you?
Pardon, I didn't say that. Well, he knows I yell at him. I always tell him how dilly that was.
You use
But
those-
anyway.
You use those terms?
Yeah, probably about that. But anyway, there's a lot of history in St. Genevieve.
Oh, my gosh.
And a
it's
lot
just
more
full
that
of
we
it.
don't even know about yet.
Right, and I just thought that archaeological dig was so interesting.
Yeah.
You didn't really realize how they actually took these little bitty scoops and moved the dirt.
Yeah,
it's painstaking work.
It
Sure.
is.
Every scrape, every scoop, every
Right, and they have
inch of
to-
dirt's cataloged. They have paperwork to back it up.
Yeah, they dig and then they write, and then they dig and then they write. It's very interesting.
yeah, it is, it is.
And most of them were girls that were here, weren't they?
We had a
Big Bob was-
team of 6, and there were 2 males and 4 females. Yeah. And there were some volunteers too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But his-
So, anyway,
It's
it's very interesting, and we have lots of things going on, so everybody come on out the next 2 weekends and join, 3 weekends, the rest of the month, actually,
Yeah.
and join in all the
It'll-
weekend activities.
it's a
So,
busy time of the year.
then Halloween will be the end of the time,
Yeah.
and that's on a Monday.
You rest
so-
up
And
before
then
Christmas
Christmas
walk.
is just.
Yeah, then Christmas
Yeah.
walk will be the
No,
first
don't
weekend.
forget about Thanksgiving.
Well,
That's part of the rest.
Yeah,
That's
Unless
one
you're
of the
cooking.
yeah.
Okay, so everybody, thank you for coming.
Thank you
and-
for
Thank you
coming.
for having us.
Yeah, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.